Keep it raw. I like it.
Well, Pinky Patel, welcome to Unscripted.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know you just finished Austin tour.
Yep.
How was that?
It was fantastic. I'm glad that this for the last leg of this third tour, I'm back in clubs, kind of back to how I originally started doing shows, which was like they were trying to squeeze me in anywhere and everywhere, which is why I did a lot of matinees.
Yeah.
But I realized, because like I said, I'm a mom too.
Yeah.
I understand the struggles of just trying to get away for a couple hours to have some nobody needs me time.
Yeah.
And so, we don't really encourage that amongst each other. We don't really facilitate that. We don't say to our girlfriends, hey, you look really stressed out. Let me help you with the kids. You go do what you want to do.
Yep.
Like we're not building our village. Like I have my village,
Yeah.
which is why I don't have to say stupid shit like that. But
Yeah.
the ones that are not building it, you haven't figured out how to set your boundaries and have a village.
Mm-hmm.
And it's clearly showing.
Yeah.
It's clearly showing every day when you post shit. And so I like being a reason for women. I like giving women a reason to do something.
Yes.
Because when you and your girlfriends get together, text message, right, group chat, whatever, and you're like, we should go do something, right? That's how it starts. We should go do something. I haven't seen you in a long time. Let's go do something.
Never happens.
And then you're like, okay, when are you free? Okay, you figured this out, right? That's the biggest hurdle. When are you free? When are your schedules going to coordinate? And then you get it coordinated, and then what's the next thing? What are we going to do? There's fucking nothing to do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm too old, but I am too mature to be going to a fucking bar that has just deep fried bar food.
Yeah.
Like you're telling an Indian woman to eat bar food? Like its fried pickles don't even taste that good.
Yeah.
I can make better fried pickles at home. And so then, and the music is loud, the drinks are expensive.
We can't hear the conversation.
I haven't seen my girlfriends in like 3 or 4 weeks because I've been traveling. What makes you think I don't want to hear them speaking?
Yeah.
What makes you think I don't want to hear them telling me about their life and their struggles and stuff? Like I want to help them just because I'm not like one of those people that text you every day. Like I'm a dad friend.
Yeah.
I'm a friend who will text you once in a while and be like, yo, what's going on? Or like Shruti knows, I will text her and be like, hey, I'm in town. Are you available? Like it has to be spur of the moment.
Yeah.
If you need somebody to treat you with kid gloves,
Yeah.
that is not me.
Yeah.
I know my strengths and weaknesses, and my weakness is I don't have any softness in me at all. And I'm moving too fast
Yeah.
to be coddling people.
But to be honest, I need more of that in my life because I'm way too soft sometimes. Because I'm a Cancer, so I.
So am I, girl.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Hold on. When is your birthday?
July 5th.
I'm July 18.
Yeah.
She's June 27.
There you go.
We're all Cancers
There
here.
we go.
Oh my God. Okay, see, there was something here from the
Don't
beginning.
bring the stars into this.
No.
Okay? It's not because you're a fucking Cancer. It's because
I'm too fucking soft.
No, you're the product of our environment.
Yeah.
You're the product of how we were raised as South Asian girls. And after I realized that, I was like, fuck them bitches. And
Yeah.
I completely went 180. Like I reverted back to how I originally was before I got married, before I had children, before I had really any responsibilities. And I'm like, I'm back to square one.
Yeah.
And it worked for me before, so it's working for me now.
I love it. And so for people tuning in and don't know who you are, what can you tell them?
My name is Pinky Patel. I'm a content creator turned stand-up comedian, and I'm currently finishing up my 3rd nationwide tour.
That's so cool.
Getting ready, testing out material for my 4th tour, seeing what resonates with my audience, what doesn't, collecting people's kind of info, so when I'm in your city, I can text you and be like, it's time to hang out. I only come back every 18 months.
Yeah.
I think you deserve a night out every 18 months or an
and to
afternoon
laugh.
out. Yeah. And my shows are they're, like I said earlier, they're a way for anybody to just kind of not escape, but just to have some nobody needs me time,
Yeah.
right? And because they're matinee, by the time you end up coming to the show, then going to dinner with your girlfriends after, and just hanging out and going back home, I can guarantee you at least 6 to 8 hours of uninterrupted you time.
Yeah.
Who else can guarantee you that? Nobody.
No one.
So your husband has golfing / football on Sundays, which, let's face it, he sucks at golf, and he for sure can't play football, which is why he's watching it. So at least you can come to my show, have 2 drinks, have laughs, have appetizers, commiserate with me, because I talk about what I'm going through in the moment.
Yeah.
If it's cougar puberty, I talk about cougar puberty. If it's gray hair in places there shouldn't be gray hair, then I'm talking about gray hair. There's no subject that is taboo for me. And if you end up walking out of my show because it was too much,
that's
you know what? I already got your money.
Yeah.
You already paid for a ticket.
Period.
And I can't. That's where the softness has to stop.
Yeah.
And a lot of people tell me, and I think it's a product of being raised in Manhattan, right? In my adult in training life. It's the fact that, and people say this all the time, you can tell who's from Manhattan and who's not, because they are kind versus nice.
Yes.
Kind is marshmallow wrapped in barbed wire, so you have to get through that harshness to get to the softness. And nice is barbed wire covered in marshmallow. So you think that person is great, you think that person is helpful, you think they want to see you succeed, and the closer you get to them and the more you're authentic with them, thinking that they are this amazing person, that's when their barbed wire start coming out. Mm-hmm. I would rather be that marshmallow wrapped in barbed wire.
I agree 1,000%.
I'm not going to ask you how you are every day. I can fucking see it on your face.
Yeah.
And you post about it every goddamn day.
Yeah.
Okay? So unless you have something real and authentic to tell me, no, I'm there when you need me, but outside of that, fucking pull your panties up and get the job done. Okay? I don't have time for this.
I love that.
I don't.
Can we talk about your famous saying, "Hello, my friends"? Because
sure.
My friend is something that my dad also says.
They all say it. They all say
whenever we're out, he always be, my friend. And so that's how, when you said that, I was like, I am locked in, because I have never heard anyone else say it, because my dad always said it growing up. So how did that happen for you?
It's totally my mom.
Yeah.
It's totally my mom. She, as she would come visit me in Chicago, being raised in Connecticut, moved to Chicago after I got married, she would come once a year for 2 or 3 weeks in the summer to help with the boys, right? And then for me, my life doesn't stop just because my mom is there. I just take her along with me. I'm like, well, you're going to be walking. That's what's happening right now. We're going to the Children's Museum. We're going to go do this. We're going to go do that. And then some of the times my friends would be involved, right? Because kids are the same age. Again, I'm not going to stop my life just because my mom is visiting for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
She's here temporarily. This is my life, right?
Yeah.
And so after, she would meet the friends and she would talk to them in broken English and all that and get to know them. And then afterwards, she'll Bingo, how are your friends doing?
I love it.
My friends are great. And so that's how it kind of started. Hello, my friend.
It's my favorite way that you say it in every single video, without a doubt. And I think that's the most, even when you were talking about your girlfriends right now, it's just become a staple for you now, huh?
Yeah, there's certain vernacular that is just, it rolls off the tongue. And the funny thing is, everybody in my real life, in my bubble at home, does not faze them at all. I will say certain things, or I will I have a little mini crown that I travel with me in my crossbody, and whenever someone comes up to me, depending on their vibe, if they come up to me with snarky attitude and where's your crown? I'm like, fuck you, and I'll whip it out and I put it up. I'm like, and what? But if you're nice, I'll be nice about it. And I'll be like, oh, wait, can't take a picture without this.
I love that you wore your crown today. That's why when you said, are we wearing headphones? I was like, no. And I knew. I was like,
well, no, I have headphone crowns too.
Oh,
I have headphones. I have crown on them. And so I just needed to know what to bring because I didn't bring all my luggage with me.
Yeah.
That's why I texted you.
No, I'm so glad. I love the crown. The crown is iconic, and so are you. But let's play a little fun icebreaker round. I know we already had an icebreaker, but I feel like for other people, this would be really fun. What's the most unfunny thing you've done this week as a comedian?
Unfunny thing?
Yeah.
I was in the green room at Cap City, and I get nervous nuggets that come out of my ass right before trials. That's the third form of diarrhea that I'm on. Yeah. And so I'm doing my business and I'm unraveling the toilet paper, and I raged at the toilet paper. I was like, are you fucking the toilet paper was not coming out properly.
It was getting stuck.
It was getting stuck. It was ripping one square at a time. I was like, I don't have time for this. I'm freaking out. I have to go on stage. What the fuck? Like, screaming in the
God.
And then I was like, girl, take a moment. Cougar puberty. And then I moved on. But there have been so many random ass things that I've just like, I'll just find like water leaking from my eyes. And my husband's like, are you okay? I'm like, get away from me. Get away from me right now.
I feel like that's every husband. Like, can we just approach a little? No, you cannot approach right now.
No. Approach us with caution.
Yes. If you had to describe your comedy style in 3 words, what would they be?
Relatable.
Yeah. Real.
Unfiltered.
Yes. I would say the same thing about yours too.
Yeah.
What's your go-to snack before or after a show?
I don't eat until after shows.
Yeah, because you were talking about your nervous nuggies.
Right. Which the second tour was really hard because I had nighttime shows. So I literally was not eating all day. And obviously I was like smart, right? I'm educated, so I know I need calories. And so I had gotten it to the most, like, this is what I can eat so that it has the least effect on me. And even then, it was still bad news bears. I was like, it's still not happening. So after the show is when I do all of my gorging, obviously, as if I fasted. We all know about fasting. Thank God I grew up fasting. Like, I've been there, done that. But one of the 2 things I look up in every single city is either birria tacos or shawarma.
Did you have some here?
I have. We're gonna have birria after this. Okay. It's a vegan place because Janelle, she's vegetarian, and so I'm not a complete asshole. I want to make sure she enjoys food as well. So we're hoping to go there. But yeah, those I prefer. I've really gotten away from the snacky snacks.
Yeah.
For the past year, the first tour, they were like, "What do you want on your rider?" And I was like, what the fuck is a rider? Yeah. And they explained what that is. And I started cackling. They were like, your green room demands. I was like, demands? Who the fuck am I to have demands? I just want to go and make people laugh. So like the first thing I put was spring water because I hate purified water. Yeah. And they were like, really? That's it? I was like, okay, I mean, Twizzlers? Sure, put Twizzlers. And every club was giving me a pack of Twizzlers. And I was like, we can't have any more Twizzlers. Yeah. Because every club gives you whatever's on your rider.
Yeah.
So I got smarter in when I noticed, kind of the population of the cities I was in. Is it high homeless people, not whatever. Now I get things where if it's on me, I can hand it out so that I don't have to worry about wasting money or carrying it home. And I kind of feel a little bit altruistic about it. I'm just like, here, and then I run away. But yeah, so for a while it was Twizzlers, the lemonade ones. Yeah. Only the pink lemonade ones.
I haven't had those.
Yeah, it's cherry filling and like a lemon outside. They only come out in the summertime. And then for a while it was the Sargento snack packs. Okay. Those little, like, it has the cheese and the nuts and the crackers. I was like, snack!
Yeah. Okay, that's a good snack, though.
So, yeah, but recently I've gotten away from snacking. Okay. With this
makes sense.
Journey up and I hate calling it that. Journey era, whatever the fuck I'm supposed to say.
If you can invite any comedian to dinner, who's at your table?
If I can invite any comedian to dinner?
Mm-hmm. And why?
Who's at my table? That's hard. I would invite George Carlin.
I don't know who that is.
He's no longer alive. Oh. He's a very OG stand-up comedian. He's very unfiltered. I'll say whatever I want on this stage. And if you want to arrest me afterwards, you can go ahead and fucking arrest me afterwards. Much like Richard Pryor, old school comedian. So definitely the old school comedians versus the new age one. Because the thing is, they're hardly relatable to me. Yeah. Right? It's hard for me. I'm at the point in my life, I'm on my second wind, and if there's no ROI, I don't do it. Mm-hmm. If there's no return on investment, and my investment is my time and my energy, 2 things that I cannot get back. No matter how hard I work, I can't make that money. I can't make time up. Yeah. I can't reabsorb that energy that it took me to do that thing. And so I approach pretty much everything like business plan.
I
Like,
love that.
if there's no ROI, I don't care. Oh, well, she didn't say a woman comedian, so she's not really about women empowerment. I'm like, well, what's your favorite female comedian? Why don't you tell me that?
Yeah.
And then why don't you shut the fuck up? How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Like, just because I'm on your screen and you think you're allowed to have this opinion about me, that's not actually true. If you wouldn't say it to my face, how about you not type it in my comments?
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's go back to the beginning. You started during COVID, right?
Yes.
What made you be like, okay, I'm going to get on TikTok? Because that's how I found you on TikTok. And I was like, who is this woman? Oh my God, she's hilarious. And also, props to her. She's like wearing a crown, being her authentic self. And so, yeah, tell me about that, please.
So December of 2019, I go up to my work wife in corporate and I'm like, oh my God, wouldn't it be hilarious if I just started putting my random thoughts of the day on Facebook? And she's like, oh my God, I would laugh. And so I was like, done. So December of 2019, I start posting one random thought of the day on Facebook. Now, up until then, did I have Facebook? Absolutely. I got it in 2004 when I got married, right after I got married. And I moved to Chicago because what's expected of me as a South Asian girl, I know I'm going to have kids. Who wants to see the pictures of the kids? Living in Connecticut.
Yep.
And so I was like, okay, well, she's in Connecticut. I'm not sending snail mail pictures.
Yeah, no,
She's
you
living
can
it
watch it on Facebook, yeah.
Right. I was like, my brother can show her pictures of her grandbabies. So up until 2021 or 2020, up until 2020 when I started posting videos, because I don't count the Facebook random thoughts of the day. Until I started posting videos of me, I was never in front of the camera. I was the mom behind the camera.
Wow.
I didn't like how I looked. I mean, when I started making content, I didn't like how I looked, but I was like, I'm not looking at me, you are. Right? There's a reason why I look like Lady Adam Sandler on your screen all day, every day.
But we love Adam Sandler, so we're going to love Lady Adam
Listen,
Sandler.
I mean, you can pick Billie Eilish if you want of a different version of what I look like. I don't care who you resonate with.
Yeah.
But I'm not the most things I did in the beginning was put eyeliner on because it made me feel confident, not because it made me look good, right? And so then that was 2019 and I still do, I was doing those for at least December, January, February, and then March 13th, 2020, work says stay at home. Something told me to bring my computer home with me, and luckily I did, right? And so after the weekend, they're like, now you have to stay home for at least 2 weeks until we figure this out. We need to see what's going on. Everybody's in a panic, and we're trying to stay calm. We're trying to do our work from home job, keep the kids with their work from school from home or whatever the fuck was going on, right? And we know how to handle that. Right, we know how to deal with the electronics. We know we're very smart people. I couldn't even imagine the people that still had to go into work and had to deal with their children, right? And so seeing the frustration that everybody else had, that my girlfriends had, that I had, right? I took all of that and, I was trying to stay entertained. I was trying to stay busy, trying to keep my mind from spiraling. Like, what the hell is happening? That's the first time. That's the first time I actively started watching the news. Up until then, I never watched the news because these assholes don't tell me anything good.
Yeah.
They're telling me that, and when they do tell me something, they have the peenacity to be like, "Oh my God, feel good story." I'm like, no, we want more feel good stories.
Yeah.
I need more feel good stories. I don't need to know the tragedy that's going on in another country because yes, there's gonna be a trickle down effect in how it affects me. But in this moment in time, I have to worry about how I'm gonna get food on the table because I'm told not to go to get groceries. How I'm supposed to make sure my kids are staying on track for school. Like I have real life shit going on right now, right? And so between like exhausting all the streaming services and everything, keeping ourselves entertained, I even tried becoming fucking a homesteader with sourdough bread and becoming a bartender and everything that we were trying.
Yeah.
And we exhausted all social media options and now, we go onto the Amazon Prime and Netflix and Hulu and everything, right? And then people start sending me videos. Like in chat, they're sending me this content. And I was like, what is this? And so I downloaded TikTok because I was like, okay, I mean, there's only so much literature I could read. I'll move on to this, right? And so now I'm on TikTok, and I'm like, I thought this was, knowing that this was Musically and it's just for lip syncing and dancing. I'm not a Bollywood Indian. I don't have hips. I just have leg tops. Like, I'm like a fucking column. No shape to me at all. Like, it's fantastic. And so
And so I was like, get out of my head. You say column.
Like, I don't. I mean, if I could stand up and show you, I would, but I have nothing. And so, I uninstalled it from my phone. I completely got rid of it. But then my girlfriends in the group chats, they kept sending me stuff.
Yeah.
And the more they were sending me stuff in 2020 throughout the summer, the more I was looking at it, the more I realized it's not meant for lip syncing.
Yeah.
It's not meant. And so then I went to my work wife, the one that told me to start posting on Facebook. And, from December to maybe like June of 2020, I had started on Facebook, the random thoughts of the day. And then I was like, I need a different challenge. And being good with Photoshop, I was like, oh my God, what if I did this? And she's like, I would watch it. I was like, yes. So I started making memes with my random thoughts of the day, right? Like if my thought was regarding a donut, I'd grab up a picture of a donuts and just whatever, be creative. And then it turned into, what do you think if I said these and put them on YouTube? She's like, I would watch it. I was like, yes. So then again, for the longest time, we would joke that she's my informal social media manager because every time she said yes, I did it. I was successful.
She was like your yes girl.
Yes. Yeah. But within reason, right? Yeah. And realistically.
Yeah.
And so then I asked her, I was like, wait, how about this? What if I started doing these on the Ticking Talks? And she's like, I would watch it. I was like, done. And so then I started, and the very first video I made was me bitching about grapes because at that point I had to cut them in half for my younger semen survivor. And he
Did you just say younger semen survivor?
Yeah, because he's the younger one. Duh.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, go.
And he couldn't, so I had to cut him for him, choking hazard, and just cleaning them. He was like on this, like he only ate apples and grapes, and when they're in this funk, you have to give them as much of whatever they want because it's just about calories in at that point, right? And so I was like cleaning the grapes, and then the grapes, it's 2 levels of cleaning grapes. You got the big bunch of grapes that come off easily, but then you have the little tiny stems that stay on the grapes. Now you're picking up each individual grape and taking it out, and I lost my shit.
So
I lost my shit, and I'm sitting there, and as I'm describing the fucking grape, I start it rehashes it for me, and I get in a moment, and I'm so getting so frustrated. You can see it on my face, and so that was the first one.
Did that blow up?
It didn't blow up, but people go back to it, seeing what it was, and they start laughing about it. But the one that went viral for me at the time, and a lot of people don't understand. They're like, "Oh my God, how many millions of views did you get?" I'm like, "That's not what viral is. Viral is how many views do you have on your video relative to how many followers you have.
Yeah.
That's what viral is." And at that point, I literally only had 100 followers. And so this video went from the video that went viral the first time, literally it was this white girl in Wisconsin telling everybody how much cheese to put on their nachos. And I got mad.
This video.
I was like, don't fucking tell me how much cheese to put on my goddamn nachos. Look how fluffy I am. I need all the goddamn cheese. I was so mad and she wasn't saying something the right way. It was the wrong emphasis. And I was, I live in Illinois, and that's not how Wisconsin people say that. I was so mad. So I just and that one, it had immediately overnight, I think 100,000 views or something. Mm-hmm. But at that moment, at that time, it was a lot. And I was just like, what the fuck? Now people know me. Oh my God, what's going on? I hope nobody that works with me follows me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, all of these things. That's
the biggest stressor when things go viral. You're like, oh, no one's seeing me in real life, please.
And then the first video that actually that went millions of views viral, it was Nasty Nelson asking why women go to the restroom after doing the nasty, and I was like, are you fucking for real right
Wait,
now?
I remember this one.
It was part of the first show that you had come to.
Yes.
When I was formatting that show, everybody was like, just write about you, why you have these responses. And so my idea, because I had never done stand-up comedy, I was like, well, how do I keep myself on track? how do I still make it look professional? So I'm not looking at paper on the stool. I'm not, and yes, things every stand-up comedian does, things every stand-up comedian has told me is okay. Because I've asked. Like, you got to tell me what's right, because I've just been literally thrown into the deep end here.
Yeah.
And, but for that first one, I decided I would put up the viral videos behind me. But I would like blur their faces, obviously.
Yeah.
Put up the viral videos behind me. I would give them a fake name, and I would tell them why I had that reaction.
Yeah.
And a majority of it was because of the way I was raised.
Yeah.
And, I think that's why that first show really resonated. I mean, I might even resurrect it for a future tour show.
Yes.
Like a few years down the road, and be like, you want to know how it started? This is how it fucking started.
Yeah.
But click, like I had a clicker and everything, and I would advance the slides myself. But if you watch the first show for that tour and the last show for that tour, in the year and 4 months that I did it, the difference, astronomical. Like, I didn't need the slides at the end of the tour. I didn't need anything. You would have thought I was doing comedy forever, which is what people kept asking me in interviews. And I was like, I don't know why you want me to lie to you about this, but I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I wrote it a week before I started doing it, and I did it, and now we're here. Let's just clap and move on. Like, I don't
Exactly.
understand.
I'm telling you what my real story is.
Right, like, I'm
Take
sorry that it wasn't a struggle bus. I'm sorry that I didn't have to, like struggle for 25 years and get nowhere. And I'm like, maybe
I just freaking did it when it was.
I used the resources that I had,
Exactly.
and
it's not my fault that I'm funny and it blew up. So
listen, hate the player, not the game.
exactly.
I just tell people that.
So when you started blowing up, was that crazy for you? When you
It was
saw,
insane. Every week.
Because you got millions of followers, views. It was crazy.
Yeah, there was a moment in time in the middle there. So from when I first posted on TikTok, October of 2020, to my first show that I did in October of 2021, the growth that had happened, every week we were just like, are you for real? Are you for real?
Yeah.
Where did these people come from?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, we would all, I was like, even on Instagram, because I did not have Instagram up until maybe January of 2022.
Wow.
2021, around there. And the first thing I posted wasn't even family, wasn't even like me. It was because it was a Louis Vuitton purse that I got. I was like, let's set the status right now. Like,
where I'm at right now.
This is what my social media is going to be about. And then, but the thing is, like, as soon as I realized that all of these people were following and engaging and these videos were blowing up, I went into my personal account on Facebook and Instagram, because at that point, after that Louis Vuitton one, I was like, oh, maybe I should post my family, because that's what this is for. So,
you're like, fine, I'll tell them I have a family.
But immediately I took those videos down.
Yeah.
Anything that had my kids in it, anything that had my husband in it, I took all of it down, because I was like, you don't get this for free.
Yeah.
You don't get this for free. You got to pay me millions of dollars to get this information.
Yeah, no. Keep that stuff private. Yeah. So how did people start reacting in your life around you when they saw you doing something so unconventional in their eyes? Because especially in our community.
Oh, for sure.
Indian women doing comedy is so like
Indian women doing anything besides raising children and cooking is, what are you doing?
Yeah, why are you
would
doing
people
that?
say?
You're not a doctor?
Say I'm doing it. Yeah, I am. Laughter is the best medicine.
Exactly. I get the same comments from a lot of people in my life and in my parents' life, like, oh, my daughter's a doctor. What does your daughter do? And they're like, you know what? She's a content creator and a podcaster. Is there anything else you have to say?
She's an entertainment.
Yes. I'm also bringing joy in people's lives, but in a different way.
Listen, you know what? I don't work for the pharmacy like your son does.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
That's what you can say. No, I mean, the people, so my family members, right? My parents, everybody in town that I value, that I purposefully keep in my life. Very tight circle. Yeah. Very tight circle.
As it should be.
Right. Like, I don't need quantity, I need quality. Mm-hmm. And so they were definitely like from my nieces and nephews, which when I say that, I'm not talking like little kid nieces and nephews. I'm talking like they're in college nieces and nephews, right? Like, they were all like, oh my God, Pinky Masi, oh my God, Pinky Floyd, oh my God.
Biggest supporters though.
Yeah, and I even told them I would. So we do an annual Christmas Eve party, like that's our thing, and they all come. Like this is the time of year they look forward to. All of our nieces and nephews on my husband's side, and I told them like after it started like blowing up and stuff, and they would make comments and stuff. I'm like, hey. If you can use me as a get out of jail free card or somehow you get free beverages from somebody, do it, man. She'll be like, this is my auntie. Here you go. This is my mossy. Here
Do what you have to do.
Yeah, I don't care. Because here's the thing. And I mean you kind of, we talked about it earlier before we started recording. You had that same moment when you first met me, right? And the funny thing is I was telling Janelle the interaction we had because I meet people once. So it's like
I can't believe you even remember me. That was like 2-3 years
I think in talking is when I remember.
Yeah,
like that's how, because today, like not with your content or anything like that, but this interaction because it looked very familiar and I'm good with faces. Maybe not names, but I'm good with faces. And I was telling Janelle, I was like, yeah, I remember last time I was here, there was this girl that had come up to me at the meet and greet, and she was so like, she was so nervous, and she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in front of you. I can't believe I'm like, look, like I'm talking to you. Like you have so many followers on Instagram. And I was just like, and I was telling Janelle, I was like, I don't even know why she thought I was all that in a bag of chips. Like, I put my bra on one titty at a time, just like her. Like, I'm just a normal person. And I was talking about you, like, because you were like so like
I was so
awestruck,
excited.
and I was just like, why are you so awestruck? Like, I just fucking talked about my vagina on stage. Like, come on.
I think that's why, because for me, you know, growing up in our South Asian community, you don't find women who are so open and talkative. I thought I was the only one who did that in my close circle of friends, but when you see someone doing that on a bigger stage, you're just like so inspired because it's so amazing. And I want women like that in our community to talk more about unconventional things because it's real life.
Well, here's what I've
That's
learned.
why I was freaking out. I was like, yes, I love her.
It amazes me when people come up to me with that type of energy that you came at me with, because I'm just like, again, growing up in the South Asian community, right? I was taught not to think too much of myself.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, who do you think you are? You're whatever. Right. It doesn't matter who you are, right? Your job is to get married, make babies, and just do the household, right? And this is not to be like, oh, well, her parents suck or her mom suck. It's like, no, this is a community thing.
Yeah, it's a generational thing.
Right. It's an Indian boomer thing. Yeah. And the thing is, until we teach them a different way, they're going to keep doing this, which, listen, I'm seeing girls my own age acting this way, and I want to smack the fuck out of them. I want to be like, you dealt with this with your mom, pitting you against these other Indian girls in your community. Now she has made you develop this sort of competitiveness towards your own people, towards the women of your community, when you should be embracing each other, when you should be teaching each other what's coming down the road. And instead you look at the younger generation with animosity, with this level of annoyance and hatred of, well, I had to learn how to deal with it, so you will have to learn how to deal with it. It's like, are you fucking kidding me, Mom? You want me to figure out how to deal with this when you could just tell me and be like, hey, hot flashes suck ass, okay? Yeah. You're going to need all of the ice from your freezer and put it in your fucking bra and panties is what you're going to need to do. Like, come on. Like, you're not giving us any tips and tricks. You're not giving us any sort of guidance. It's literally the blind leading the blind. And this past year and a half, I realized, fuck them bitches. Yeah. I do not care who you are. I do not care how old you are. I do not care if you think you are better than me, because I can guarantee you are not better than me. I can guarantee you that. Do you know how I know this? Because your face looks as tired as my face does. Yeah. Like, and I think the only way we're gonna stop that type of mentality is by talking about it.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you support me, for the people that support me in my real life, I know who they are. And I treat them with the utmost respect. I show them the love that they have shown me. I'm the type of person where I am quiet until I gauge the other person's personality, and then I show my authentic self. Same. Do I tweak it for their personality? Absolutely, because I don't want to make them uncomfortable. Yep. But I will still let a lot of myself out. Yeah. I don't, like I said to you earlier, I'm not going to change for you. Yep. You can go find another group, because I know that group exists. Do you know how I know? Because there's 8 billion people on this planet. Yeah. Like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. No. I already did the first half of my life for other people. Now I'm at the second
now.
half of my life, and that's why I look fucking fine as fuck now. So
I love it. I love the confidence. And that's the thing, like with our South Asian community, I think that's the biggest thing when you're doing something so like out of the box.
so unique.
So unique.
So unique. They don't know, and some of this, right, I learned is I have to look at who I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
And I have to take a look at their background and how they grew up. Did they have positive influences in their life?
Yeah.
And if they didn't, how can I expect them to be good people?
Exactly.
And maybe
how can they learn something different? Yeah.
Right. And then how can they teach? They can't. Right? And so once I kind of get into that mentality of it, then I kind of become an educator. Like, listen, you're not going to be able to tell me that you didn't understand me because my Gujarati is on point. Okay,
Yes.
I will be able to speak to you. Right. Like the amount of times I had to school my mother-in-law when she was living with us, I was like, no, mom, this is not fucking happening.
Yeah.
I was like, मैं तमने શું કીધું?
Yeah.
I told you, આ કરવાનું. તમે હવે કાલે મારી જોડે આવો અંકો આ દુખે છે. I'm like, આ કર્યું છે બધું?
Yeah.
નહીં કર્યું? મારી જોડે વાત ના કરશો.
No, I agree.
તમને મરવું છે ને જાઓ મરો.
Yeah.
Like people, my mom's like, well, Pinko, એવું ના બોલાય.
Yeah.
I was like, but she's the one that wants to die. Why should I stop her from dying? She's so close. Like,
With you.
but I can't.
No, it's real. It's real. My mom told me the first thing before I got married. She said, do not change who you are, especially with your in-laws or anyone from that side of the family, because they need to see you at this, because if they see that you're changing, they think they can change you.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, that's great advice. So when my mother-in-law, love you, mother-in-law, but when she first was like, oh, you don't cook for my son, why don't you cook? And I was like, to be honest, I didn't really learn how to cook, but your son's a great cook, and I'll clean his chutneys while he cooks for me.
Yeah.
You know, there's a
'Cause
trade-off
it's a partnership.
there. Exactly.
It's a
It's not
partnership.
just maro san kam kara kho divas, but what are you doing?
Well, I'm also fucking working.
Yeah, you don't understand my work, but I'm still doing it too. And so now we've established, like, oh, okay, I know where she stands. She knows where I stand.
Yeah. See, like, and I'm proud of your mom for doing that.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
proud
my
of her for giving you that level of guidance.
Because
Like
she dealt with that shit. I
Right.
saw it firsthand.
Right. Like my mom would tell me stories, right, about her mother-in-law and how she was treated in the village and all that stuff. And she didn't teach me to stay authentic to myself. She actually did what she was taught. Pingu, હવે આપણે તો બધું let's go કરવું પડે. આપણે ladies કહેવાય. And in the beginning, I was naive. I didn't have the
so
internet.
you were like, oh, okay.
I didn't have what we have now.
Yeah.
Right? And so now my whole thing is, nah, if the girls coming after me, no way. I'm not going to let them fall into that.
How did you get to this point of that mentality? That's not easy to get there.
My mentality, I've always been this type of person, but I had to put Pinky on pause when I became a wife and a mom. Because I had to go through that life. I had to go through marriage. I had to go through pregnancy. I had to go through child rearing, dealing with the in-laws. All of that I had to do with no self-help books,
Yeah.
with no internet to help me, with just flying by the seat of my pants. And there are so many things that I'm like, I wish somebody told me this. I wish somebody told me this. I wish somebody told me this. And so I take all of those things and I write them down, and eventually there will be a book on, you know what? You want to know what life is really like? I'll tell you what to expect when you're expecting did not tell you.
Yeah.
Like serious things that like even your doctors don't tell you. And the more I lived through my life and the more I dealt with postpartum depression on my own and, all of that stuff, I was like, no, nobody deserves the life that I had when I put myself on pause.
Yeah.
And so when I was, kind of being my authentic self, making content and still trying to juggle the IRL part, like how do I do this and this? My best friends know who I am.
Yeah.
The person I am online is who I am with my like everybody who has supported me, anybody who is not blood related to me, the ones that are still in my life right now, they're like, yeah, you've always been like they get questions from other people Oh, like when they realize, oh, Pinky's your friend. Like she comes to your house all the time because they'll post pictures
Yeah,
of when
yeah.
Halloween or whatever. And I don't tell them not to take pictures of me. I'm not that person. I mean, like, yeah, let's do this. Like,
Yeah.
if whatever. But if their people in their life then follow up the next day, oh my God, I saw that you posted it. I didn't know that you knew Pinky Patel. How do you know Pinky Patel? They'll just look at her with a tired look and be like, I've known her for like the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, she's just a normal, like, bras and titties. I already said it earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, is she really that funny? And they're like, this is what she's like all the time. She comes to my house looking like that. And they're like, with the crown, they're like, sometimes with the crown, depending on if it's appropriate for the occasion. So it's like I have my people that I can be my authentic self with. And I just happen to be lucky enough that my authentic self online is the same authentic self in real life.
I love that.
Which, I mean, this is what the only makeup I have on right now is foundation to cover up blemishes, a little bit of bronzer, and eyeliner.
Well, you
That's
look
it.
beautiful.
But like, thank you. However, I'm learning to accept compliments.
Yes, we all are, because also growing up in our community, no one gave us compliments because
Right.
they're like,
Maaf,
you're not good enough.
Right.
People are going to think you're too much of you're into yourself. And it's like, what? But yes, you look beautiful. And I'm so glad you chose yourself and that you're here today doing your third tour. That's not easy.
No, it's not. It's definitely not easy. There's a lot of juggling that happens.
Yeah, so how do you balance all of it? You know, mom life, being a comedian, wife, and being there for yourself.
When all of this first started, we added another entity to the crazy, and my in-laws had moved in with me. And so I started the first tour in 2022. I started being a caretaker for 2 geriatrics. I started, being the parent of a high schooler, which would obviously lead to college.
Yeah.
Still having to but still having to make sure that I give the appropriate attention to my marriage, right? Because that counts as well. And again, no guidance out of any of that. However, I would not have been able to do that if my husband was not. And I joke around a lot. I'm like, I think you just kind of like begrudgingly got on the bus because the bus was going and you were like, shit, I should get on or else I'm going to be left behind.
Yeah.
But he's very cautious. He's opposite of me, complete opposite. He's very quiet. He's very cautious. He's very like, let's look at everything. Let's research everything. And I'm just like, let's just do it. He's the one that stops me from knocking down walls. He's like, babe, we got to check if it's load bearing. I'm like, fuck yeah, we do. We don't want the kids to end up on the first floor.
Yeah.
Right? Like things like that. So, but he's the number one support system. He, even back when this started, he also had his corporate job. I had my corporate job. For about 4 months, it was all of that. And for me, it was 6 months of corporate with the tour and everything. And then it came to the point where it was amping up more. We're adding more show dates and it's just like I'm just going. At one point that summer I was gone for 6 weekends in a row. And people are like, you were gone for 6 weeks? I was like, I never said that. I said I was gone for 6 weekends in a row.
People just want to hear what they want to hear.
Right. I was like, that means that the day before a show, I fly out to the city, and the day after a show, I fly home every week. Today I go home, and then Wednesday night I go to Levittown. And then Friday I fly to Albany for Albany show. After the Albany show, I drive to Buffalo. And then after Buffalo show, on Monday, I fly back home. And then guess what? Next Friday, the Friday after that, I fly out to, I think it is Atlanta.
Amazing.
And I do that, and then Atlanta, and then Raleigh, and then come home. Go out, come home. Go out, come home. At one point, I think the shortest I was ever home turnaround time was 36 hours, which is similar to this week. And within that, I do a lot of meal prep. I label as much as I can to help out, right?
Yeah.
So because one of the things I know from being the default parent for so many years is food is a thing.
Yes.
People need to eat. I'm like, I don't know why you need to eat. We grew up fasting. We should all be fucking fasting. Like, here's some vitamins. Take some vitamins. They're like, Mom, we need food. I'm like, fuck, okay. And so, I tried to do as much as I could to alleviate what he had to do, which is a lot of the drop-offs and the pickups and carting from this activity to this activity, which I did that. I know how stressful that can be, right? So just taking things off of his plate. And then when I would be home, I would make sure the in-laws were locked and loaded with things. Like at one point, I was literally, when I was home, I was rolling out 25 rotis a day, like a week.
God.
I would count how many they would need for breakfast and dinner, and I would make that many.
Because you're also cooking for your in-laws.
I was at that time.
Oh, wow.
And at the beginning of the tour. And then I would, once they all cooled down, I would put them on my dining room table like property, drying in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as they cooled down, I would then put them in packs of 4 because they both each ate 2 at a time with wax
freezer.
paper. And then they would, and I told my mother, I was like, take this packet out. Like I made packets for her. Take this packet out, open this corner, put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, and she would warm up the food.
Amazing.
Because I was like, I just need to do as much. And I ended up getting fucking carpal tunnel in my,
God.
like, tennis elbow. I don't know what it was. I wasn't even playing tennis. It was just rotely back and forth, back and forth, back and
You know
forth.
what is equivalent to tennis at that point?
And people are like, why don't you just go to Patel Brothers and get it? And so I did one time. And I was like, I spent more fucking time going to Patel Brothers to get it than I could have just busted them out right here. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. There's no ROI in that.
No, I love that you and your husband are so balanced out, you know, and are supporting each other.
Yeah.
I think that's so beautiful, especially in Indian marriages. It's very, very difficult, unfortunately, to have that. So
I mean, it helps that I had a love marriage versus an arranged marriage,
same
you
here.
know. So I think that does help. However, now I can't blame my parents for things.
yeah.
You know, like,
Oh, you're the reason I'm on her.
but no, so between my husband and then my group of girls that I have, you know, with like school pickup, drop off, karting, all that. And then at that point, my older son was also learning how to drive. So that kind of alleviated it. And as the tours kind of progressed, we got better with how to do things. We got better with roles, responsibilities, all of that stuff. It got easier on my younger son because, you know, this is the baby, right? Like he's used to mom being around all the time.
Yeah.
And now mom's not all around all the time. And he's worried about where I'm going to go and, you know, if it's safe or not because of
he
COVID
affected?
and
Yeah.
right. And so then, and I told him, I was like, and up until that point, you know, I have a Samsung, they have Apple. Up until that point, I was like, why do you need to track me? I'm not doing anything that you need to track. Like, I'm going to work, I'm coming home, I'm going to Costco. Like, what the fuck? You don't need to track me. But then to alleviate everybody else's concerns, I was like, okay, well, I'll just get Life 360. And so then I would look at my son, I'm like, you know, you can ask for daddy's phone
And look at me.
to see where I am. And if I'm in a hotel that you know that I'm safe. But if you still don't know, you can call me from daddy's phone. This was before he had a phone, obviously. And now we just text each other, talk, whatever, like direct. But it was a lot of coming from having depression and all of that stuff. I was very super vigilant about that. I was and I told my husband at one point because he was telling me certain things after the fact. And I was like, why are you telling me after the fact? Why don't you tell me when I came home that number 3 was having issues because he was feeling a little sad? I could have talked to him right in that moment. I could have been like, let's go, me and you. Let's go on a like a lunch date, a dinner date. Let's go get ice cream. Let's talk this out. Like, I refuse to be one of those Indian moms that just like brushes it under the rug.
Same.
I'm not doing that. And if I have to start that conversation with, we're about to have an uncomfortable conversation, so everybody get your panties, make sure your panties are not in a twist,
Yeah.
and let's make sure we're talking about this.
No, as you should. I feel like
And I told my husband, at certain points, I would see him getting emotional, and he's like, you know, when you get emotional, your eyes start leaking, and it's okay, you know? And he would stop himself. And afterwards, I told him, like, after the conversation with everybody, right? Team meeting at the table, all that. I'd be like, don't stop yourself from crying.
yeah,
The boys need to see you crying.
that it's okay.
The boys see me crying all the time, and they get worried, but I tell them, I was like, my kids knew when my depression came back. My kids they know everything that's going on. They knew when Ba had breast cancer. They knew when I had to have a partial hysterectomy. They knew everything. And there were people from our own community when I would tell them, and like, oh yeah, I had to tell the boys that my mom had cancer, breast cancer. They're like, oh, you said breast cancer? And I want to look at them.
How are they supposed to know real life if you're not sharing?
No, and I just looked at them and I was just like, why is that an issue?
Oh.
Like, because the more you ask why,
They're like,
with those people, the more uncomfortable they get. And the more they realize you're the fucking moron that's sexualizing this.
Exactly.
Just like 6'7". It's no one's sexualizing 6'7" except for the adults because the kids are doing this. And what does any adult who was raised in the 80s and 90s think what this is? Come on. You think a kid knows what this is? Get the hell out of here.
Fucking 6'7". They
exactly.
don't even know what
They're doing the motion that the NBA basketball player did when he said 6 or 7.
Yes.
They're not. They're the reason they keep saying it is because you tell them to stop because you think
made
it's
it dirty. Yeah.
Not them. Like, what are you doing?
And then you're the bad person who's like calling them out on it.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So what's been your proudest moment till this point?
Proudest moment? Getting on stage every single time.
Hell yeah.
Growing up, my girlfriends would always try to get me to do the Diwali dances for the Diwali party. They were trying to get me to do choreographed dances for receptions and sangeets, and I was like, no, I'm just here to hang. I'm not. I will do the counting. I was like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not gonna get up there and do that shit. And I was like, I was the last resort. Like if they needed a 4th or a 6th, I was that person.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm in the back.
No one can see
hiding.
me. Yep.
That because you think I'm gonna get on stage when like 3 other chicks are doing one move and I'm like, no, they're going right, I'm going left. Get the fuck out of here. And so, which is why, the nervous diarrhea comes in. But every time I get on stage, the biggest out of all of them was when I first performed in Toronto. It was at the end of my first tour, and for that first one, I was selling out a lot. Like a lot of people were coming to the shows and stuff. They were trying to get back out doing things, right? And I was able to sell out that show, which was I think like 1,300 people.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, that's
Congrats.
fantastic.
That's amazing.
It was good. I was just like, oh man. And then the very first show I did, because that is kind of what led to the rest of the shows. Like we put that show on the schedule in the summer of 2020, and this October 3rd, 2022 is when I did it. And 2021, October 3rd, 2021. Yeah. And in the summer of 2021, I had scheduled a meet and greet because they saw my P.O. box, and then they would write in comments, oh my God, you live so close to me. We should get together. I was like, I never said I lived there. I said, that's where my P.O. box is. Yeah. Like, you're being weird. Yeah. And so then my husband was like, you should do a meet and greet. Everybody's doing a meet and greet. Yeah. And I was like, okay, fine. Where are we going to do this? And he like full support, like go big or go home. We did everything. I expected like 100 people to show up. Tickets were $5, and the only reason I charged was so I could pay for the venue. Yeah. And tickets were $5, and I let everybody, full transparency. There ended up being 569 people that showed up, and I went on, and so the general manager of the comedy club, the Chicago Improv in Schaumburg, she reached out to me before that, and she's like, I follow you on TikTok. I think you're amazing. You basically do what stand-up comedians do with your stitches and your reaction videos. I think you'd be great as a stand-up comedian. And I was like, oh my God, are you for real? I can't do that. That's ridiculous. Me on stage, I will throw up. What if I forget what I'm going to say? All of these things, right? Yeah. And the whole time she's talking, I'm like, oh, I can do like 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Okay, whatever. And then she's like, yeah, I'll help you get openers and, all around the country. And, you'll be doing all these shows. And I was just like, I know what all these words mean. Are you telling me that I'm going to headline these shows? And she's like, yeah, you would headline. I was like, are you fucking for real? So after I threw up in my mouth and I committed to it, I was like, let me do this meet and greet. Because what I had ended up doing was, it was a 2-hour event. The first hour, 3 hours. The first 2 hours, I took pictures with every single person.
Amazing.
And then the last hour, I was like, I should maybe talk to them. I don't know. That feels like something that I should do. And so then 3 months leading up to this, I had a Google form. And I was like, if you could meet me, what are the top 3 questions you would ask? Yeah. And then I got all the responses back. And I dumped it into Excel. And I put a conditional formatting on it. And I found all the 3 questions. And it was basically, how did I get started? It was just about me. They wanted to know about me. So I literally went all the way back to that village in India that I was born in with no dirt roads, nothing, right? And you can tell the people were a little shocked. And I did well. People were laughing. I didn't get nervous. So then I went back to the manager. I was like, let's do this. And she hit the go. And as soon as she put the ticket link out there, within 2 weeks, it sold out.
Amazing.
And so then I started throwing up a little bit more in my mouth because I was like, now it's time for me to shit or get off the toilet.
Oh my God.
And so then, I started writing it, and then I get on stage and I do it, nervous as hell. You would probably hear it in my voice, but I fed off of their energy, and I get the show done, and I say my tagline at the end, and they start standing up. And I was like, are you literally giving me a standing ovation, right? Like, this is my first time out of the gate for all of this. Like, I'm not even like, I've done this. It's my time. I deserve this. I was like, are you kidding me? This is crazy. Why are you standing up? Sit down. But those two. Yeah, those two.
No,
Those
that's
are the
amazing.
biggest.
Well, I just want you to know you're incredible.
Thank you.
And you're such an inspiration.
Thank you.
Again, thank you so much for being here. We've run
Oh,
out of
okay.
time. I could talk to you for like another hour, I swear. But you're so amazing. And
you.
just really one quick question for people, what really quick answer is, what do you want people to take away from you besides the laughter?
I want women to, well, first of all, I want women to see what true women empowerment means.
Yes.
I feel like social media has muddled that terminology, that phrase, whatever you want to call it, or whatever it's supposed to be called. A lot of people think it's blindly supporting your fellow vagina owner, and it's not. Women empowerment is making sure that we are being the best version of ourselves. So if that means that I'm walking out of the house looking like a homeless person and I look like I haven't showered, I smell like I haven't showered, or combed my hair, I would expect my girlfriend who's going to dinner with me to be like, hey girl, hey,
You gotta go.
we gotta comb your hair a little bit. And it's not coming from a place of rudeness.
No.
Like what people, another, like, kind of stemming off of that, I think what people need to realize is we need to start taking the emotion out of certain things, taking the emotion out of certain words when we're speaking with certain people, because not everybody's out to get you.
Yeah.
This is not a die or kill or die moment. Like, this is not fucking what's it called? What is it? Katniss Everdeen.
Oh.
Hunger Games. This
Yeah,
is not Hunger
Hunger
Games.
Games.
You know what I'm saying? Like until we get to Hunger Games, you don't need to act like Hunger Games.
Yeah.
How about that? So that's the first thing, true women empowerment. And the second is, I want little girls to see their moms looking at their phones and laughing and enjoying themselves. And then they look at their phones and be like, what's my mom looking at?
Yeah.
Why is she laughing so hard? And then they see somebody who kind of looks like them on their screen.
Yeah.
Because growing up, I never had anybody who
Yep.
looked like me on my screen. And that's why when someone, who's your favorite comedian? Based on what criteria?
Mm-hmm.
Based on what criteria? Right? Like, that in all honesty, people ask me, what's your favorite city? What criteria are you using for favorite? Because mine's different. Right? So I want little girls to see that, because the younger we start teaching women how to be good women, the better they'll be when they get to difficult times in their life, difficult situations, when they get to those milestones and they like start doubting themselves. They don't have that village. They don't have that community because somebody told them, some TikTok therapist told them that they have to set boundaries and not take any concessions. It's like, are you fucking stupid? No, you have to take a look at who is talking to you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just basic common sense.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
that's all I want.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me. This
No,
was fun. I'm
this
glad I
was
was able
super
to do
fun.
it.
I'm so glad.
Yay, yeah.
I'm very grateful for your time.
Yeah, absolutely.